Hello guys, it's Silverfang45 and this is my week 2 battle. It was very late due to needing an extension because of time zone differences, but most matches I should be able to bring it in time. Now, looking at his team, it's not what I expected. I really did not expect the Regirock in the slightest. I'm not sure why he brought it. It just doesn't make sense versus my team. I honestly have no idea. But yeah, let's get this match started. Now I lead off with Skarm because I wanted a fast U-turn. Also, sorry if you hear any background noise. Some Deros outside are pretty loud. Now I swapped out immediately because I didn't want to risk Scarfed Entei. As looking at his team, I saw Darmanitan having a really good chance at sweeping. Anyway, I swap into Hitmontop. He misses, which is really huge. I just close combat. I didn't want to risk anything. Now I expect the swap, so I Toxic. And he happens to swap into his Necrozma, which means I have got a free Toxic off. Now, I don't want to play around with this threat. I'm just going to swap into a mon that walls basically his entire team. Seeing Earthquake instead of Earth Power makes me ask if it's physical. He says it is physical, and the second I realize none of his team's a special attacker, I realize Skarm just wins the match. So my plan of sweeping with Alola Muck changed to sweeping with Skarmory, or just winning with Skarmory. Now I'm just trying to keep him alive and to bait out the Z move from Kyurem if possible. Shit. Now, seeing he doesn't Z move, I didn't expect it, but I roosted just in case he did. Now I expect sub, if he was a sub, and he was, so I whirlwind. And the second this come in, this was the luckiest mon I could have got off whirlwind, because I always 1v1. And I decide to test to see if it is Psychic by swapping in Venusaur. Now, I Mega to make sure I live if he is Psychic. He does not reveal Psychic, so I just assume he doesn't have it. And I believe I Leech Seed into the Necrozma. Because now I can just beat Necrozma. It just cannot survive reliably versus a Skarmory. Now, because I know that I completely wall his entire team with Skarmory, I decide not to mess around with this threat, and I just try and keep myself at full health. Now I Iron Head just to kill him this turn, and now that his Necrozma is dead, my Hitmontop is a little better off, and my Mega Venusaur is basically walling the rest of his team. So I swap in Hitmontop just to make sure this Entei cannot win the game versus me. He does get the burn, which is annoying, but it was expected, so I'm not that salty. Yeah. Anyway, at this point he is saying that he's going to lose guarantee. So I guess at this point he's already given up. So after seeing that, I don't expect too much crazy play. I just expect him to play very standard. So at this point I'm just trying to keep my Skarm alive. The second the Entei drops, I just realize Skarm just walls the rest of these. All I need to do is get Kyurem to use his Z move and I just win. And Regirock never threatens me, so I just spike up. Also remember this mon never wins the 1v1, so I'm just free to start spamming Roost. Now, I know because it doesn't have Psychic, Mega Venusaur should always come in on this. And that's what I do. I'm just trying to get this Kieran Black in and trying to get him to use his Z move. That's my plan. So basically he's just using Ice Punch to hope for a freeze. The second I Leech Seed, he's basically forced to swap into Kieran. And yeah. Now, I did fuck up because Pokemon Calculator doesn't actually show Terrafault working. So I figured I could live this with the amount of health I had, but I was wrong because it doesn't show that he has Terravolt. It just shows his standard damage. So at this point I thought it was Adamant, but it was not. And it was just a fuck up of Pokemon Calculator. Anyway, the second my Rabombi kills this, I know the game's over. He knows the game's over. So I just swap in a Skarm and take my win. He has no way to touch this, so I just am trying to get this below 25 health, and then I'm going to Whirlwind it out. That's my plan from here. Seeing how much Iron Head does, I realize it'll take me like 4 Iron Heads because of leftovers. He has spicy tech I didn't expect. His counter. I did not expect this, so props to him. It was a pretty interesting set, and I enjoyed it. But unfortunately, Skarmory still wins versus counter Regirock. At this point, I'm just trying to slowly chip him and keep my Mon healthy enough that it can take the counters. Now, I'm just trying to get him low enough that I can get that Whirlwind off. It does take me a couple Iron Heads. I think it's the next Iron Head. But yeah, I just roost here. He's basically forced into always countering because he can't get any damage unless he does counter. So I'm in such a good situation right now, he just can't kill me. Now, the flinch did not matter in any way, shape, or form. It just would have taken me 1 extra turn to get the kill. I Whirlwind just to not risk the counter. And this is the worst mon to get Whirlwinded in. But he just sacks his Regirock for no apparent reason. Like, he could have used that later on. Just to take a hit, sort of, kind of. Anyway, when he swaps in this, I assume he doesn't have anything on Absol for Skarmory, but I'm not sure. I still Whirlwind just to get some extra chip. Now, me, I believe I swap out not to risk the Heat Wave. No, okay, no, I stay in. Now, I did not expect Swords Dance. I roost just because I wanted to see what he had. Now, this is where I was worried about Fire Blast, like, a lot. He doesn't show Fire Blast, so at this point I know the game's over. I purposely use Whirlwind into the Magic Bounce to swap out, hoping I got literally any mon, but my Muckalola. Now, I think he didn't realize, but then he realized afterwards when my Domaniton comes in, and here I just take the win. Now, when I say GG, definitely a fun match. He was like, I guess. But no, it was a fun game. I enjoyed it. I had to get the replay for this because his thing's a little slow, but But with this game, I came into it not seeing Nidoking, and that meant that my Skarmory was a lot more valuable than my Muck was. Even though Muck was my win con, the second I realized all his team was physical attackers, I realized my Skarm walled his entire team. And that's the reason I played like I did. I just wanted to keep Skarmory in, I wanted to keep it slowly stacking hazards, and slowly Whirlwind through his team to chip everything a lot, and then if I got Muckalola onto the Absol, I could have just cursed up, I guess, or I don't know. It would have been interesting. But yeah, it was a fun game. I didn't mind it. And yeah, I hope my week 3 versus patch is gonna come up soonish. I think we're doing the battle after work, so you might get that tomorrow or the day after. But yeah, that's my week 2. Also, Skarm MVP.